Welcome to Know You Matter. This is real conversations for people who want to feel a little bit better without being given a to-do list.
Hi, I'm Jacqueline. I'm the restoration coach and I'm Lauren's mum.
And I'm Lauren. I'm the restoration strategist.
And we are ever so glad that you're here.
I'll be about the microphone. Will I trim that off? We don't know.
No, I wouldn't trim that off. So rather than it just being, hello, Happy New Year, welcome to 2026, you've just found out that Lauren's boob was trapped in a top. Maybe that's at the beginning, but if you didn't, you now know that's what happened. Just a reminder that 2026 is not going to be any different to 2025.
Welcome to the new year. New year, same Jacqueline and Lauren. Same blondes.
No,
that was magic.
That was quite magic.
It wasn't pre-planned.
I don't like pretending anything. So I'm not going to do a Graham Norton show where people are like, "Oh yeah, it was wonderful. Happy New Year. I had a wonderful time." No, that's bullshit.
We're still recording this on the 21st of December.
This is the 21st of December. You may, for those of you that are very, very, you don't need to be very visually aware. Actually,
you just need to watch the videos.
We're still in the same clothes.
I actually brought. Look, let me be.
Did you bring a different top?
I did bring a different top so I could change. It's inside out, but it's red because I thought, oh, Christmas, and then I didn't put it on.
Yeah, we didn't.
But you know why I haven't changed? It's because it's too hot in here. But also, it looks fucking orange.
And though, just so you know, because we were giggling in the kitchen earlier making a coffee about how we might just swap our tops, so that people might notice.
Maybe I'll just wear it like a headband.
Wear it like a.
People aren't watching. If people aren't watching, this is going to be really weird. I think I could do the whole thing like this.
Just, if you were watching this video,
Babushka.
I just need to.
I'm not sure.
I can't. So anyway, just very briefly at the beginning of this podcast, not in the slightest. Well, I don't know.
I'm taking a photo of myself while we're recording. Good face.
There's a small pause there because I'm just looking at it thinking, oh my God. I was just thinking that you wouldn't last very long in it. Anyway.
I've got a lot of hair on this head, you know.
Yes, we're not going to pretend that we've had New Year, so we're now asking everybody else. But obviously, by the time you listen to this, it is going to be New Year. It'll be 6th of January.
Yeah.
So we would love to know how are you going to spend, how did you spend your New Year? Whereas actually, just very briefly, how are we going to spend ours? So I'm going to be somewhere that's a little bit more remote.
Home. For me.
Well, a home for you, because it's the place where you were born.
It's where I was born.
So I'm going across the Lake District. I'm going to be seeing a very good friend over there. Yeah. And also getting a bit
And she
of time.
told me that as a warning because she's like, oh, do you know that we're not here? And I was like, do you know that we'll be in bed before 10?
Yeah, exactly. This is why we were giggling.
But
interesting, because one of the things that you said then as we were just talking about it was about how you'd struggle to accept this chapter that you're now in.
Yes. Yeah. I think... I always think of Michelle Obama when we talk about this because when she was like, don't make any decisions about your husband when your kids are under the age of 7. I mean, obviously there are people who have to like
yeah.
But like if it's that you're exhausted and you can't see the way out of it, like just wait. Because like I think when we first had Arlo, I was very much like, I don't want to be in this place where I have to be in on a Friday night and I have to do this. So I kind of rebelled against that. And very much wanted to be the person who could still have my nights out and still do all of these things and still stay up late and do all of this stuff. But actually, this second half of the year feels very much like I've just accepted that this is just the chapter I'm in, and that's okay. One of the things I realised though, and I don't know if you know this, if I've ever told you about this before, I didn't think I was going to live past like 35.
We've had that conversation.
Yeah. So like I think as a kid, my mental health's always been a bit tricky. And having the experience with my biological dad that I had and stuff, I kind of just always, I don't know, I just didn't see longevity in my future. And that's changed the last few years. So like now, I plan on peaking at 40. I plan on 40 being the year that like I'm in peak fitness. Like, and then I just ride that high for the rest of my life. I'm like, yeah. So it's like I can accept this chapter now because I know this chapter's coming.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Whereas before it didn't feel like I was always worried it was going to be the last chapter, which is a really strange thing, like a strange way to feel. Whereas now it's like, I would like a lot more. A lot more, please. More of this story to come. So there's this acceptance now that I'm like, oh yeah, this is the chapter of, cleaning sick up off the fucking living room floor. That's not mine. And the chapter of going to bed at 9 o'clock because I'm tired and that being okay. because actually my son will be awake at 6:30 at the latest, and that's okay. Like, I'm just okay with it, you know. It's just fine. And it's the chapter of, like, it's not the chapter of big grand holidays. It's not the chapter of posh cars. It's not the chapter of buying clothes that are expensive. But that chapter will come. The chapter of New Year, where I'll stay up with Dave and I'll go abroad, or, you know, go out and party. Those will come back.
They will. And it's interesting because I think what really struck me and resonated with me was about talking about this next chapter that you're in, because I think that when Dad and I moved to Nottingham, I was ready for the next chapter, but the chapter I was in wasn't ready for me to leave it. Yeah. And I think, because we have done things and we have got away, but I don't know that I ever really fully felt this, you know, absence of guilt that I was off doing something.
Gallivanting. And,
you know, we were away and we were spending time together. When it wasn't, I'm going to use quotes in my hands, the official holiday that we had. You know, like Dad, you and Dad can go away for a holiday because, you know, you've not got no kids at home. But actually you need to be here for us for the rest of the time. And I think this real link for me about being a mum and, you know, this kind of, as a woman being needed.
Must be this massive transition, and especially having had 4 kids.
It's enormous. And I'm not over it yet. I know that. I'm not at a point where it's like I'm just automatically thinking, well, we're going away for New Year, because my brain still goes, oh God, what if anybody needs us, and what if I still feel that.
Which is interesting, because actually I've hit a point where I would never assume that you wanted to be part of New Year.
And I don't think any of you do. I think we've hit that now. I think you're all fabulous in the sense that you go off and you enjoy your lives and things. It's not about you. This is about me.
Yeah.
And the fact that I've loved this being needed, and I find it fascinating because I've done other things, and I do the business, and you know, Dad and I have done many a fabulous holiday and things that we've enjoyed, and there is still I honour this little part of me that. Just doesn't I feel like I want this chapter, but I want a little thread running through this chapter, this next one, that still has that connection.
Yeah.
You know, and that, you know, there's and a bit like you're saying, there's more to come and there's great stuff. Yeah. And I'm really looking forward to seeing my friend, being in a place that I'm familiar with, and just being outside.
Oh yeah.
Because some of my favourite memories of New Year, one in particular, for me, is being at the Fox and Hounds pub when we went and stayed with the 4 of you guys. Was lush. You know, we arrive on Christmas Eve, New Year's Eve. Was it New Year's Eve?
Was Nana and Grandad were there, weren't they?
Yeah, so we were there, and do you remember it started to snow?
Yeah. And we were in the pub next, and it was attached to the little place we were staying. I actually really struggled that year because it was like, I think it was the first year I was single. After being in a long-term relationship, and I found that really hard.
Really, I'm not surprised. But that holiday for me is such a great thing, because we had the open fire, if you remember. Obviously, the pub for food and all
I had the little ice cream all to myself with the 2 beds and the beautiful view out over the moors.
The moors.
The moors.
And then when you guys all left...
You guys stayed.
You know, and Grandad left as well. We stayed for an extra night, and me and Dad went off walking, I think. But we kind of did a walk that went somewhere, and then we had to just turn around and walk back because we were just so far out and, you know, in the middle of nowhere. But it was
So should be a fucking disclaimer that comes with going walking with that man?
Yes.
I remember...
The disclaimer is, I do not know where I'm going.
Oh, no. My dad has an absolute... Like, he's such a clever man, and he's got such a good, like, sense of direction and everything, but he's just got the absolute time blindness when it comes to walks. So you have to know when he goes... So I don't know if you remember, we went to Dent. It was this was my favourite. It was my absolute favourite. So Dad would go... We had to meet people at the pub. We were meeting them at 2:00 in the afternoon. So we were like, it was about 10 o'clock in the morning, and Dad was like, look, we'll go for a walk. It'll be a couple of hours and we'll end back at the pub. Does anyone want to come? You were like, yeah. I was like, yeah. I was in shorts and a pair of Converse. I did have a very light jacket around my waist. I remember that. So 6 hours later, after we'd climbed to the top of this hill in the pissing rain, but refusing... With the fog coming in. Yeah, with the fog coming in. Bearing in mind I'm in fucking white Converse and tiny little shorts.
And I've got trainers on.
Yeah, and we're fucking piss wet through, but we're not turning around because we're not going to give up on this walk.
No, because we are
I'll get to the top of this. Yeah, and he's going, well, we could just go. Wait, no, you fucking set us on this walk now.
But he was going on his own if we weren't going.
It wasn't like he was coming back with us. Anyway, so I think it was about 4:30 we actually got to the pub and just like soaking piss wet through. And then,
is that like the time when we went to Rosedale and stayed at the cottage? And I don't think you came because you were poorly.
That was the day I was sick and I had to stay.
You did, and that was when Dad had said that we were going on a short walk, and it was a 10-mile
10-mile
round hike with very small children,
with 2 kids.
Yeah, who were little.
And it would have been 3, but I was poorly, so I stayed back at the little house.
Yeah, he was there as well. So there was
3 kids. So that would have been 4.
Yeah, so that was, but it was 10
out of 10.
Yeah.
That was when Gizmo got out.
So sorry. Yes, he did.
We had a Dalmatian. He was a fast little fucker because he was cross with a whippet, wasn't he? And he, oh my God, he was so fast. And one of the girls left the little girl.
Well, she let him out because she thought there wasn't a gate. She let him out because she thought it was secure out the back. So she thought he'd be fine. It's only the back door.
I can see it in my head.
Only there was no gate.
So
and then, of course, there were signs everywhere that the farmer would shoot your dog. Understandably, if it had got into the fields, I get that.
Yeah, fucking.
So we've been really good with him being on the lead, but obviously he thought it was heaven,
Christmas,
and he did think it was Christmas.
Yeah, sheep everywhere.
He didn't do anything. He wasn't that kind of dog.
Our dog did though, you know.
He wasn't that kind of dog.
Merlin, before we got him, I know he's at 11 now, but they told us because they were like, when we got him, the friends that we got him from, they were like, don't ever put him on an extendable lead because he was on his extendable lead and he jumped a field in a field of sheep.
Wow.
The lead got caught on the stones and snapped. He's just too strong. He's far too big of a dog.
He is.
He believes
was that the little dog that you thought you were getting? I'll say nothing. In fact, I really feel like we're going to go off on a different lane now.
We love a tangent. Happy New Year. Welcome to the year of tangents.
In fact, we could tell you 47 different stories and then we'd still come back to what we want to talk about, but just not give it as much time. So I think maybe... Happy New Year, same me.
New Year, same blondes.
Yeah, we're not going to change.
I'm going to call this episode
but
New
people
Year, same blondes.
do tell us that you know, they're quite like this about us. I mean, quite. Let's see.
I wish I had a podcast to listen to that was like this though, because what I want to do, right? What I want to do on my dog walk is I want to put my headphones in. If I can't be asked to listen to music, I want to listen to someone else's conversation. Like, and feel like I'm in the room with them having a conversation. That's what I would like to listen to. I don't want to listen to something that's like purposeful. You know, like I don't want to listen to something because I want to feel like I don't want to do that. I also don't want to listen to something that's like men, like white men with a microphone. Fucking no. I would like
microphones, but we just would like diversity.
Yeah, some of them can. We take some of them off them. I would like a room of very diverse women from different ages to get in a room and just chat shit about their lives, and me listen to that. So basically, our podcast is what I'd like to listen to. But it's weird listening to your own podcast.
Sounds like my dining room experience that I'd like as well.
Yes. Yes. See that? Maybe that's it. Maybe we could do an episode on that. Oh my gosh, that'd be so good. Get like loads of women in to talk. Give everyone a microphone. I wonder if we could manage that.
I bet we could do that.
Yeah,
I've already got a thought in my head. Cozy Club in Nottingham. Can we come in? Can you do as a dining table in that room that's downstairs? That's really beautiful.
Yeah.
That's what I like.
Is it? Downstairs?
I don't think they do a dining table in it. It's a bar. But yeah, I've got a little vision.
You have to pay quite a bit to shut it down, I think.
Yeah.
For a couple of hours. Tell us about what that looks like.
Oh, exactly what I love. It's got wood panelling. It's got the big gold windows. Comfy chairs.
So you're talking about setting up a dining table, big dining experience for people to come and sit and just chat.
That's something that in the business that I've kind of had in my head, and I always remember Harry popping, somebody that we know popped a little idea about a dining
Sunday
conversation,
brunch.
That kind of thing. And then I did see that. I saw a Sunday brunch thing, which doesn't happen here in Nottingham. It happens in London, where people get together on a Sunday morning and have conversations, and they have speakers. And
networking that actually feels good.
Well, it's not even network. It's just a conversation. It's not business. It's not particularly businesses. It's just people who miss in-depth conversations. I miss that. Just recently on some of the training that I've been doing.
That would be better than networking, because networking is like
networking.
business on a business on a business. I don't want
not
that. I want just like people who want to talk and learn and share.
I want to be able to talk about what's going on in the world at the moment with other people and get their views on it, and also have a space to share mine. But I also want to find out about other women that are like my age or your age, and just and men, other men who care about this area, or people that miss really deep, good conversations about what's going on, because that for me is how you then get the energy to start thinking about something can change and something can be different. Because I think I keep reading this thing about, and I've often sat with it in my own self thinking, well, how does that align with what I do, about this whole thing about how people have become very individual and how, we're kind of moving away from the collective. But I don't see what I do as that, because so many of the clients that I have worked with, in fact, pretty much everybody, has said to me about the impact on their relationships and the conversations that they're having with people, and the fact that, they're far more able to now talk about what matters to them, and to really have that kind of space for that to happen. And I was just saying there on the training that I did recently, in one of the breaks, something had come up in the training and we were talking about it. Oh my God, I went back energized, and I actually thanked the people that had attended the training, because I was like, my God, that's the first time in ages I feel like I've really gone into depth about something that mattered to me. And it was brilliant to hear that you had different, like thoughts on it. And then we'd sat at lunchtime, and one of the guys had said something, and I got this space to be able to say what I thought, and then he said what he thought, and I was like, wow, not seen it from that perspective. And he felt the same about me. So it was like that,
and it can't be the people we hang out with all of the time. No, like, it can't be me and you, because we talk to each other every day.
We do, and we do have different,
we do have different opinions and things, but also it's not wide. It's not wide enough.
More diversity. I want to, and that's what I want. And it's like that's this investment.
Maybe 2026 is the year that we do the human library.
The human life, 100%. And I want them to bring it to Nottingham, and I don't know how that's going to happen. But this is the investment. And for me, this word of mine, my intention, it's the investment in the area that I'm in. I want that. I love Nottingham. I've had so many conversations with Uber drivers recently about why it matters that we care about the people that are around us, why we have these conversations with people who are different to us, and understand why they're different, and not be afraid of that. And see the good. I follow so many of these platforms that are like, you're seeing this in the news, can we also show you this? Because it's realizing, isn't it, that there isn't just one way, there's this way. It's
like horrific stuff on Bondi Beach. So today I saw a video of thousands of Muslims sitting to pray for them, and like that won't be shared in the media.
No, but
it won't be shared in the media that we've got all this entire community of people who've come to support. Like that won't be shared, because it doesn't push the right agenda.
There is I don't know if you've seen, there's another reel, and I don't know if I saved it or sent it to you, but I saw a reel of a guy, and he was a Jewish guy that was stood, and I don't know what he was talking about, but he was talking about something, and a guy who came up to him, and it was all being filmed, so I don't know whether or not it was staged or it's not, but it didn't appear to be. As a guy comes up to and this guy came up to him and just said to him, I'm a Muslim, I just want to tell you that I stand with you. I'm sobbing, like watching this, because I can feel that, because this guy, this Jewish gentleman, is so like, oh my God, this is amazing. He didn't say, oh my God, he wouldn't say that, but you know what I mean? It's like, and he's very much like, thank you. And I think we need more of that. And I don't think that happens if we're not in conversation with people. And I think we need to feel this sense of together and this community. And I think that's what I'm really passionate about, is this investment in community. Now, I'm not always talking about big communities, because I think that's what I'm realising for me with my part of the business, is that I do love working with individuals, because I also believe that the more that you work on you, the more you understand about other people, the less there is.
Well, it's that crux, isn't it? Once you fully understand that you matter, you finally fully understand they matter too.
Other people matter.
Like that's there's a reason Know You Matter is the motto of our business for both of us. It's that underneath everything, knowing you matter means that you give yourself the care, love, respect that you deserve, and now you can give it to others too.
Yeah. Because you are different, and I think that's it. Everything,
because your voice matters. When your voice matters, their voice matters.
Yeah.
When you know that, when it's when you're coming from a place of it not being fear that my voice is being shut off. Now, you can be like, oh no, I know my voice matters, and therefore I can give you space to give me yours, because I know that I'm going to
exactly
have mine anyway. It's all of the bit underneath it, isn't it?
So I think that's where, because one of the things we've done just recently is where I was thinking about the business, and I was thinking about, what does it look like visually for me, and I've just got this vision of I want to invite my, just so you know, if you've been a past client of mine, I want to invite my past clients to come to a dinner, and I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I had this vision of probably a maximum of 12 people at a time sat around a dining table, where they just feel that because how things look matters to me, and it's beautiful in deep colours and ornate on the table. It just looks glorious, and it's great food, but it's inclusive for people. You wouldn't be worrying about, I'm a gluten-free, I'm a vegan. I would know that, and it's just, and I'm going to say this is work I did with you and something you've created, and it just allowed me to really have this vision and to see that I do want to work with small groups, and I do want to continue the work that I'm doing with individuals, and I do want to support organisations, in terms of what they're doing and how people are being human, because I think we're losing that, and I don't think people want that. I don't think people want that.
No.
But
I think people are crying out for connection.
Yeah,
actually.
and I think the bigger thing for me in the world at the minute is it feels like we can't afford to go, well, that's not my thing. And I think when you start to realise what matters to you and the values that matter, like one of my biggest values, and I don't know that I'd really thought about it, is justice, and I know it's yours, and fairness and compassion, and so if I'm going to invest in those, I'm going to keep using this word because it matters. I'm going to invest in those and in me and in my community, and start to look at how do I do more of that. How do I invest in women more? How do I invest in the men that I work with, so that actually we can change some things, so that we again get the bigger ripple on the communities that we live in, and bigger the organisations that we work in. So that's massive. I'm not even sure how I got to that point now. My brain just went, oh, how did I get here? But that's a biggie. But that's the Sunday brunch thing, is that. It's bringing a group of people together, and having people share their thoughts and their feelings on particular topics, or so it's not particularly even books, and I haven't got a full vision of how I want to do it, but I've seen it's happening, so I
would
love
travel
that
for
idea.
that.
Well, we're going to
like people would travel.
I want it in this city.
Yeah.
This is a blooming great city. Yeah. In the Ivy,
in the Cozy Club.
In the Cozy, one of these places in Nottingham.
These beautiful spaces.
It's about where we feel that safety, but there's that elegance. It's the past.
It's the looks,
reminded.
isn't it?
It is. It's all of that, and because we've got some stunning buildings in the city.
Yeah.
And that for me is what that needs to be, because we need to be rooted in what matters, not stuck in old ideas. Bringing fresh ideas to what matters and what's mattered to Nottingham. And bigger picture, so obviously bringing clients together, they're not from Nottingham, so that'd be a different conversation, but what matters to them, and it's that I feel that real sense of, I've talked about the repair shop before, but it is, I know coming up, because I've seen a reel, Helen Mirren features on the repair shop that's going to go out on Boxing Day.
Oh, I'll watch that.
She's bringing reindeer that is animated, that belonged to a gentleman who I think was part of or funded this organisation that she is, I don't know if she's the chairman of it or whatever it is, but she's got this connection. I can't remember now exactly. So the guys, I mean, that that you see it, it's really knackered, and it's the second version of this. It's linked to the fire brigade. So it's what they do, but they don't lose the essence of it. And I think that's really important to me. That's what all of what our work is as well, and it links to what we were talking about last week about New Year, same you. We don't want to lose the essence of who you are and this gloriousness. We need to find that. That's why we go searching for what that is, and then make some decisions about what are we letting go, what are we updating. It's that, isn't it? That's the whole bit. But this whole bit about who we are as human beings, our emotions, our values, all of these things that just we need to kind of talk about and meet people and be challenged in them. But that's, for me, that's what my part of things is about in 2026. Investing in that.
How does it feel differently? Like, maybe that's not the question to ask. We're talking about like the new chapter and things. And I guess with business, it's kind of separate slightly from personal, because I'm going to be in this toddler life, toddler mum thing chapter for quite a long time. Actually, I won't be in the toddler bit, but I'll be in the childhood mum bit for quite a long time. But like in business, I feel like it's quite, I always think New Year's quite a nice time, because it's like, actually, it's a new chapter, isn't it? But it's like for you, so then doing this, so what we did was we did Step Inside. So it's the one of my offers, it's my favourite offer that I have. And it's where, as a business owner, you come in and we do this, just this big visualization. And it's not necessarily linked to your business at the beginning. And we just visualize where I think we've talked about it before when we talked about the main event, but it's the new iteration of it, because I don't think it is an event necessarily.
No.
And it's like, you imagine all of the people that you love, that you've loved to work with, people you'd love to work with, the people that light you up in your business. Like, it could be like business besties, it could just be people that, you know, you'd love to talk to. Where would you bring them? What would you invite them to? Like, where would you want to bring them into and experience something with them? And that's kind of where, and you saw this dining room, and we really, like, we visualized out from there. We did this like whole it was just beautiful. But it's like the piece that it is that I think is really powerful is it reminds you of the conviction you've got behind your business. So for you, like, I know that this year's been a lot, we've had plenty of ideas and things that we've done, but actually hearing that part of you that is, it's not necessarily a massive shift, but that part of you that's like, no, this is what I want to fucking focus on.
I think what you did, and the way in which it really helped me, it's actually, it brought my focus in more, because it really got me to see like who I want to work with. And you know, I always remember years ago somebody saying to me, you are your own client. And I think I rejected that quite a lot, because I don't think I even, you know, even me who'd done quite a lot of work, don't know that I liked myself at that point. You know, I just got into, I was menopausal. I'd just hit my, like, I was 50. I wasn't in a great place with work. You know, I knew things needed to change. I was in a real transitional period. And I feel like I'm coming out of a lot of that, because I don't know that I've been out of it for a while. I think it's really, there's been a lot of things happening for me, but it's really shown me that I am. And do you know, something was said to me the other day, and I just want to add something, because I'd asked a client, would they mind if I shared something? So just a couple of little things about them. One was that they, from the work that I did with them, chose a word for the year, which was sunshine, which then had us both in tears. Because then they explained the reason behind it, because they feel like they've been shut away and there's not been a lot of sunshine in their life, and that's what they really want. So they're going to look for the sunshine in the whole of this year, in every place that they are. And that just honestly is stunningly beautiful.
That is beautiful.
What was also incredible, and I hadn't expected it, was out of the blue, the person just said to me, do you know the reason that I came to work with you? And I was like, no. And we're now...
You haven't told me this.
No, we're now 3 months in.
Yeah.
And I was like, no. And they went, oh, I'd like to share it with you. And I was like, yeah, okay then. I was thinking, oh. And they just said to me, I've known you for a long time, or a while, right? Good, probably 6-7 years. And I was like, yeah, absolutely. And they said, you know, if I was to look at you and think of this vision of who you were a woman who seemed to have it all. You had a great career, like the way you'd moved and worked through things. You were, you know, a training development manager. You know, you looked like you loved your job. You were surrounded by amazing people. You got great perks of the job, a car. You went and did things. You had a real variety. From
you had on paper what
in,
looked like you had everything.
You looked like you had everything. And you blew it all up. You left. She said... And a lot of us were like, what do you know that we don't? But what is it? What's made that? So I didn't share at that point anything. What I did was I went on and I asked some questions, and I got them thinking about what was it about that. And they were like, because and what came back was, I realised that what was on the outside that looked like success actually wasn't now aligning. And I just said, is it okay if I just kind of take my coach's hat off a little bit and just, would you like to hear? And I just said it was exactly that. It wasn't aligned anymore. The work that I was doing, the things that I realised actually mattered to me. And one of the things that I'd shared was that, you know, I remember the day I woke up and realised that I was living my dad's life. Because what Dad valued was work.
Yeah.
He always had. I can go back and show you letters that I know I've told you about that I've got that, my parents wrote to each other when they were 19 and 24. And within one of them, he hasn't turned up. And it was because he worked a double shift. And that became a pattern for the whole of his life. And that doesn't mean he didn't love my mum. I know he did. I know he did. And does still. Even though she's no longer here, he talks about her so lovingly. And he had this passion. Well, I thought that's what success looked like. So to have that happen, that was like a rupture for me. To have that happen where I suddenly realised that wasn't what mattered to me.
Yeah.
This is what mattered to me. And it wasn't just one reason, but even just sharing a tiny little bit like that and about these values that we tend to live. Yeah. But it was that. And I think, that's, for me, it's about these transitional times, particularly, for women. But I also know that I've spoken to a number of men about this, where we suddenly start to realise we've been living somebody else's life, not ours. And I think this around it, once we do that work and then you have that, because I'd like to write a book. I would like to thank a very lovely lady called Sarah for actually saying to me, you need to write a book about restoration. So that's one. But one book I would like to write about is about client stories. So my clients don't know this, and obviously they need to give me lots of permission. But I am going to be coming to some of my clients because I'd love to share their stories about what changed and what was different for them in that way. But all of that came from you, just so you know. And what
from me?
From you and what you did with me and Step Inside. Because my brain, by being able to visualise what it was like, because the more that you ask me those questions and the little nuances of the words and what it looked like for me, because I think this is the thing that I've stood by forever. I know that sometimes people need a hand. We need some help, but actually bringing out what's inside of us.
So interestingly, I think this is where I'm realising that I don't think I'm the right person for business owners who are brand new. I think the business owners that I want to work with are the business owners who've done this for a little while. So they've tried loads of different things. They've watched other coaches or other creatives or other website designers or whatever they are. But they're either coaches or the creatives, right? They either create or they give people space. They're the things. Like, it's just the way that I work that I think works with people. And they've tried all of these things. They've tried to build funnels and they've tried to do it this way and they've tried webinars and they've tried all of these tick boxy things that people say this is how you get a successful business, and they've hit this point where maybe it's working to a certain point, but maybe it just isn't. So it's not fucking lighting them up. Like, it just and it's like it's not that really obvious, like something's missing, but it's like, oh, I just can't see how this all fits together. Like, it doesn't, there's not like this really, like when you first get started and you've got that thing in your soul where you're like, yes, this is what I'm supposed to be fucking doing. And I feel like that dims and dims and dims and dims because we try different things and all that kind of stuff. And actually it's that point where it comes back and I go, right, okay, we've tried all this stuff now, so you've got a bit of experience. Now I want to bring you back into it. Because that's the bit that people let go of. It's like, no, let me just grab you and go.
Let go of the outside noise.
Yeah.
And then it's that whole bit. So now it's that. And I know that's one of the things we're going to be looking at again and working together, isn't it? About how we translate this into the bigger picture. But I've already got thoughts. Oh, I know a couple of things that I want to do already and how I want that to be. And I've been doing some research behind the scenes, which, will be coming out in the next few weeks as I start to do that. But actually, this whole idea of who am I? What am I passionate about? What matters to me?
Yeah.
And how do I bring that? So that story from that client of going,
yeah.
But I now am looking at you going, but you look really happy.
Yeah.
Doing what you're doing. And it doesn't have to be perfect, does it?
Yeah.
And I'm like, and I'm curious, I'm listening and I'm letting them just talk. And she was like, because it's like, you must have had a great salary, but none of that's guaranteed now.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yet you still look happy. And you still laugh.
Yeah, so you start to see where things can be different.
Yeah, and I think it was that. I think it's this possibility that there is something different.
Yeah.
And it just really struck me.
Yeah, so my most recent client that I've done this with has been, oh my gosh, it was amazing. So we started this visualization and I think this is why it works so well and why this is like my superpower, because I'm so visual. I'm such a visual person. And visualization for me is really healing, and it's how just everything about me at the minute is through visualization, and I love it. But it means that when we talk about this is I can see it, so I can see these spaces, and there are questions and things that come up for me, like, because I'm in these spaces and I'm like, what's happening over there? Like, what can you hear behind yourself? Because I'm like, I want to know, like, I want to feel this space, like, what's this like? But then what's been really interesting for me is that they came to me because they were like, I know that I kind of want to shift from doing this thing into doing this thing, but it feels really like, it just feels really visceral, this shift. Like, it feels like they're like 180ing and they're changing everything. And actually what came out was that wasn't it at all. All of these things that they thought they were saying goodbye to are still here. They're actually still there in the business. They're just not the core of it anymore. And they've worked out, oh my gosh, it was amazing, because we then have like the week of voice noting afterwards and voice noting backwards and forwards and hearing them be like, I've come up with another offer and I've come up with another offer and this is what it's going to be called and this is what I can see. And then them going, voice noting me back like 2 seconds later and being like, hang on, no, that doesn't fit. That doesn't fit, because the whole point of the room is that it feels like this. So that doesn't make any fucking sense. And it sounds, do you know what it is? You know, it sounds like one of those really sort of like woo-woo things where it's like, what's the point in doing that? Because what does that actually do for my business? Like, it's, you know, like when people are like, well, would it be better for you to like go and invest in a physical website? Would it be better for you to invest in a social media manager? Like, there are tangible things you can invest in. And I'm not saying that what I do is better than that, or like, it's not about that.
You feed into that,
but honestly, the things that are coming from me, even as I do this for myself, like realizing that I'm missing a massive group aspect going into next year, and like, what does that look like for me? And like being able to go to a brand designer and go, this is what it's supposed to feel like.
That's it.
Being able to go to a website designer, and instead of it being like, I want a home page and an about page and a service page, instead it's like, oh my God, no, I want them to walk in the front door. Because like for you, it would be like, I want them to walk in the front door and feel like they're being handed a glass of champagne. Then I'm taking their coat for them, and then they can look in a mirror and they can see this. And it's like, actually then mapping that onto a website.
Yeah, what would that look like?
Because it's like, because then we're not inviting people into, it's not this static, come and work with me in this flat sense. It's come into my world. Right. Step inside.
You know why that matters? Because I feel like what you just said there was me, that's where I'd almost, what I thought I should do.
It becomes really flat and two-dimensional.
Yeah, this is what I think I should be doing. Whereas actually, none of this is different to what I said right at the beginning. Restoration, you know, and this is merging into the house of you, which...
Yeah, because I remember right back when we were first designing a website, and like there was no way I was going to be able to do it, because now I can possibly maybe consider it, but I'm still not there. So when we can hire a website designer, what we'd love is for the doors to open.
Yeah.
And that's how they come inside your website. And now that you've got that visualization, you can see it. And like, and when you get onto the page that's about like maybe the restoration, like that would be a dining table. And maybe there'd be a place setting, you know, and there's, in the house of you, there's an invitation. Like that's what the website has on it. And that's it. All of a sudden, everything starts to make sense. And like, it sounds really big-headed. It sounds really big-headed. But you know what it is? This year I'm being more bold, and I am really fucking good at this. I'm really good at this.
I 100% agree.
Like every business owner I've worked with, like so far, like one business owner realised that a piece of a business that she thought wasn't important was actually the fucking core of it all. One business owner reopened her offers and was already sold out for next year. Like she hasn't even opened it this year. Because it's 6th of January.
This year, we're 2026 now.
Like she's already selling stuff for because she knows it's right. One person thought that she had to change this like idea that she had for her email list, but actually it fit really well once you saw it inside the world.
It's really interesting watching your hands, because it's about what's internal to their world. Fits really right, knows it.
It's that. And do you know what it is for me? And I don't know if any other business owners will vibe with this, right? One of the things for me is that I like to own my achievements. So when I do things, often I'm like, I need to do that myself, because I want to know when I get to the win that I've earned that.
Yeah.
I want that to be my win. And one of the things about doing things in other people's ways is that when you get to the win, it never feels quite as bright.
Yeah.
Because it's like, well, it worked, but I'm even doing that in like inverted commas. Like it's like, oh, it worked, but it didn't feel amazing, and it doesn't feel like my win because it's kind of their win.
Yeah.
Whereas this is like, I have built this brick by brick. Yeah. Like this is my dream, and it doesn't have to look the same way anyone else fucking says it will. Because the thing about when you've got this, right, this, I feel it, this like weight in your business, this like, I know what I'm building because I'm inside of the fucker. I'm in it, like watching
Solid
it.
foundation.
Yeah, like I've got this. The conviction you have, people cannot say no to conviction.
Do you know what? It's really, but just so you know, that's why it's so brilliant what you do.
That's it.
Because, and this is, I know I've not had the opportunity this is the 21st of December, and this is why I definitely want a bit of time now.
Yeah.
Because we've just done it
We've just done it, yeah. And it's like to now set and go, what's next?
It's gone, I know the direction, I know what parts I need to add. I'm like, and now I've just said that.
And the strategy bit is where I go, right now, this is how we do it. And I never leave anybody. It's never like, oh, this is an amazing dream. Fuck off and do it. That's why we get the week. That's why you can work with me long term. Like, I can't wait. This year's the year that Showbiz comes out. And that's my long term mentorship thing where it's like, we do step inside at the beginning and then it's a whole, however long, minimum 4 months, but however long, keep it forever if you want to, where we now build it. And every 2 weeks you get a meeting with me where we go, what's this, and we centre back in the vision and we go, this is it. And it can change and it can morph and it can, because you're going to grow, and it's that
conversation, Lauren, where it's not going. You need to be in it, to be practicing it, to be seeing it, to be talking about it, to allow it. It's like, I always remember doing visualization years ago and realizing that when people start, so I see it happen now. So they'll start to have a conversation with you, and they'll be telling you something, and then you go back into it, and now they're in even more depth, and now they tell you even more details, and then again, now they go back through it again. Now something else will have been added at the beginning because they realise that's it. But you watch this incredible vision forming, and I think that's the thing for me with it was that so it's not left my head. The minute that I start to think about the House of You and about what I do and why restoration is there, none of that's going. Yeah, it's just and it is that, but. Actually, do you know what? It's a representation of who I am. Yeah. Because fascinatingly, you're in the version of mine because it's actually where we live.
It is going to be where we live. Yeah.
So there's a separate part, but I could just see this vision. Yeah. I knew it. It's like we've got this dining room and this incredible lounge area.
And I think people have a bit of fear around it because they don't think it'll come up. But interestingly, we only need one nugget because all you had was a dining table. That was it. All you could see was there was nothing else.
I can see the staircase.
But then we grew and grew and grew, and that's what the visualization is. This person had all they could see was doors. That was it. And now we've got this massive visualization, and it's like all of it. Oh my gosh, I love it so much. And if you, the science of it, we've talked about visualization so often because your brain can't tell the difference between reality and visualization. If you're willing to really get into it and really visualize, it's why me talking to my childhood self, because I really visualize her and I do that, it genuinely heals things in me because my brain thinks it's really happening, and that's beautiful, isn't it?
That is science backed.
Yeah, it is.
That's because we abandoned her. Him. We abandoned her or him to be able to fit in with whatever. Now,
we let them go and we go back inside.
I do it all the time.
All the time.
I sit her on my knee, or I'll sit next to her all around. I tell her things.
I leave her in a room painting quite often. Like, I just love it. And now that I've got the house visualization that goes with it, like that really helps me compartmentalize and not have to pick it all apart like at the same time. But the with the business, the thing when you do this and when you visualize, right? Because one of the things that you struggle with is that you, especially as a solo business owner, is talking yourself out of stuff. So it's one of the things that I will have this amazing idea, and either I'll put it into ChatGPT and then it's now grey and dull because I've AI'd it and that's a stupid idea. I don't do that anymore. Or I'll talk myself into it and then I stay in it long enough to talk myself back out of it again. But it's because I've got nothing to anchor it to. Whereas if you can see it from this thing, so for me, like obviously I can see a big top. And it's empty. It's not nighttime. It's daytime. It's like a huge red and white circus tent, and like it's light inside. The tent doors are all pulled back. There's loads of sawdust. There's hay bales. Like people are sat, and it's super chill. But when you come in, like we do something completely out of the ordinary, and everybody can choose something different. So you could come in and learn to trapeze. You could come in and learn to do magic tricks. You could learn to ride elephants. You could learn. I can see it, and so for me, it's about people coming in and trying things that they've always thought they weren't brave enough to do.
Yeah.
And how that maps onto my business is that people step inside and we visualize this thing, and you go. So for you, it's like maybe this little idea of sort of Sunday brunch might have percolated a little bit, but never really come to anything. But now it's like, hang on, this is actually a really fucking cool part of what I'm doing, and I've got the conviction in what I'm doing to see how it's part of all of it. Do you see why? Ooh, her face is like this.
Because do you know something that you've just helped me see?
Yes.
Because actually, it isn't about learning how to juggle or ride elephants for me. I want to be the ringmaster, but of my own place. That's what you've just shown me.
The top of my website says, "Are you the ringmaster of your own circus?"
But I don't even know that I've read that and logged that in my brain. But the visual I've just seen there, because that's what.
Because how often do you perform other people's acts?
Yeah, and
you come into the middle, and other people are telling you what to do, and you use their words, and you use their script, and you use their props. But what I'm going is, no. You've got it all. You know what you want this to look like. So when you step into the tent with me, for step inside, it doesn't look like a circus tent. It looks like your business.
Yeah.
Like, that's the whole point. And then there's like a separate improv tent. And that's like the social media and the turning up and all that kind of stuff. And I can see a Ferris wheel, but I don't have as much time to go into my own because I spend so much time with other people.
That's what's beautiful about this. And
I just think it's magic.
One is the boldness about you going out there and talking. I feel like I will keep a little bit of that because I need to still. But also that investment for me about going and talking about what matters to me.
I think because we work together so closely, I think ours will naturally like because I would like to invest more in our business and in what we're going to do. And this is the year that we figure out how we get the house. Yeah. This is the year we
our house. Yeah, because somebody asked us not so long ago, have you found the house?
Yeah, no, not yet.
And we haven't yet. And it's a dream, as in it will become a reality.
Yeah.
It's just and we keep sending.
If anyone wins the lottery in once, because the ones Dad sends me are like millions.
We're not going to need it.
Well, they are if Dad keeps sending me the ones.
But I know where, and we're not going to need it. I do think, because that's something that for me, I realise it's that thing about building. So I'm going to put it out there that, this is the year that if you are thinking about coming and working with us, come and work with us. Yeah. Listen to what we've just said. We absolutely want to make a difference. And, if you are within a company and you do know that either they need training, as in delivering, I'm going to be bold and say I'm good at that because I'm going to invest in my own self, and that actually, let's be bold, because I would love Blondes to have a leadership academy where we not only deliver our own leadership, because that really matters to me, but people then come on board, because I know a couple of years ago people were talking to me about wanting to work alongside us. I would love that. I would love other coaches and facilitators to want to deliver what we've created about being human, and having a real compassion focus and what we do in businesses, and also that the whole thing around learning for me, and what I want to do, and what we want to become. So here's to what you create, Lauren, and what you've allowed my brain to go, oh yes, I know who I am.
Oh, that's it. It's that like. So everyone that I've spoken to comes out and goes, oh my God, I'm excited. It's that they go, oh my God, like. It's the first time I've been so excited about it since I started. And it's like, right, okay. But that's because it's about you again.
Yeah.
It's not about what everyone else wants.
No.
It's about you.
It's about me.
It's about you, what magic you bring. So anyway.
Actually, that I would just like to say that's what I want us to bring back for people. Because I think we've lost the magic.
Yeah.
And we want that for people. In both of both of us, we do it in different ways.
It's the same
but
core
the ultimate aim.
Because I heard when you said foundations.
Yeah, it's the foundations.
I give you the foundations for your business and you give them the foundations for life. Yeah. Hashtag
we
tagline.
Those moments, don't we?
Yeah, I love it.
Excellent.
Well, welcome to fucking 2026, everybody.
Wow, I feel like we did just
Nailed
kind of jump in. And we both went, right,
Boxing Day dip.
Just tell you.
So, how exciting. Yeah. Can't wait to do this year. Don't forget to let us know if you want a guest.
Yes. And
I'll set up a form.
Please tell us if you want us to talk about anything.
Yeah. Make this more conversation.
Yeah, definitely.
Right.
Cool. Well,
love you. Bye.